Trinidad and Tobago, welcome to our How To series. My name is Audra Mohammed and I am a community education program tutor with Community Development Division. So before the pandemic, I spent a lot of time interacting with members of the community in the CP classes offered by the ministry. I am known for teaching East Indian cuisine, confectionery and preservatives, in which I enjoy immensely. But now, like you, I am home adapting to the new normal. I am really missing some of you all, in which I know you would have enjoyed everything that would have been taught. But here we are. We must stay home and stay safe. Be mindful to always sanitize and wear your mask in public. So, we are going to dive into one of our sessions today, in which we will be making Dhalpuri. I know you can't wait. So let's go. So, when I'm in the kitchen, my rules are you cover your head. I always work with an apron just to make sure that my clothes will not be dirty or soiled. Okay, so I have everything that is measured out for you all. So I'll be showing you what are the ingredients you need and in making a Dhalpuri. So first of all, you need your flour. It's all measured out and sifted already. We need salt, baking powder, you need some oil, jeera or cumin powder, saffron powder, split peas or dal, then we have shadow benny, garlic and a little hot pepper, water, we have our measuring spoons and measuring cup as well. We have our dabbler. I just have two different types out. I have the good old enamel cup and we also have a pastry brush that could work in place of the enamel cup or rolling pin. Okay. Also we have our towel. So in our pot we wash our dal and we place it with water and some saffron powder to boil until it gets soft enough to grind. I will show you all later on when it's finished the consistency it needs to be at. So we're gonna start with by kneading our flour. So we have our flour. We're gonna add our salt, our baking powder. Okay, and we're gonna mix with clean hands. Now, in my kitchen, my rules are when you're cooking, I don't wear jewelry. Okay? So in the recipe you will see water to knead. It does not have a measurement. So the next rule in kneading flour is that it's just like salt. You can add, you can't minus. So you're gonna add the water gradually. So you're not gonna take all your water here and dump it inside all the flour. Then the dough will be too soft and you may have to add more flour, which makes a harder roti. Okay, so you mix in your baking powder and salt well into your flour. You incorporate it properly. Then you're gonna add your water. Move to one side. Yeah, add some more. Add a little more. So you still have a little loose flour here, so you're going to add a little more water to it, just to bring it together. And here I don't really add any more flour to it because the excess flour that I have, the little bits of flour, will bring in whatever remaining dough you have here. Right? Because as I say, you don't want a stiff roti, you want a nice soft dhalpuri. Okay? Take it a bit. It becomes a little sticky, so you're going to take a little dusting of flour and dust your dough. Just try to clean my fingers, a bit of the excess dough that is on my fingers. And you bring the dough together. Stick a little more because I don't want it to be too sticky. I want it to be manageable. Now you're not looking for hard dough. You're not looking for a very soft dough. It must be medium. It must not be too sticky. So if you notice, just put in a little dusting to just clean up and bring the dough together. So when you bring it into a bowl, what I do, instead of dusting with flour, I add a little oil to keep it moist. Right, and you're going to cover it with a damp tea towel for at least 20 minutes. We're gonna set it aside. Okay, so we're gonna deal with our dal. We're boiling our dal now, and we'll come back to the preparation of the dal to fill our dhalpuri. Okay, here we have it. We have our flour that has rested for 20 minutes, and we're gonna boil them out now in little loya. Okay, little bowls. Right. So I usually use a piece of plastic. Plain piece of plastic, that's like what you put on your table or covering, and this at least helps with cleanup. Okay, so I'm going to dust my surface with a little flour, and I'm going to now you have to know the size of your towel to know what size of bowl you're going to be making, loya you're going to be making, because remember, you're going to be filling with peas as well, so it becomes a little bigger when you fill with peas, right? So this is the average size of the loya that I will place, although my towel is big. Okay, so with this recipe, I got like about 10 loya. So I always keep this dusting of flour to make sure that I always have to work with it and not have to be dipping into the flour bag all the time and whatnot. So I always keep it at hand. So especially when I'm making roti, so I can dip it a little in it and work my dough. So let me go a little slower for you. I'm just pulling in the dough to the center, working the ends into the center, and then you're going to rest it there. my tray lightly dusted with flour. So this is where I'm gonna put my loya. So it's gonna rest about 10 minutes again. I'm gonna cover it to rest for 10 minutes and then we'll come back. So our dal is finished boiling and I drained it. So what you want to see is that when you, now I don't have much fingernails, but if you have fingernails, you can be able to cut into your finger with your fingernails and squash, mash up like this a bit. Squeeze and mash up. That's when you know it's of the right consistency to grind. So this is where I'm gonna use my food processor in order to speed up the process. Right, so I'm gonna add garlic, hot pepper, and my shad benny to the mix here. So I now add my dal into the food processor. I remove the garlic and shad benny as I blend it as fine as possible, and I add the dal into my food processor. Okay. So on different intervals, you're just gonna scrape the sides to make sure it's even out in the food processor, so it will be finely ground. We now finish with the dal. Okay, so I'll be throwing it out into the bowl now. In our pan we have some oil heating up. Now what some people do is to put into the dal, add into the grind dal. What some people do is cook the dal. So it's either they put the pan on with oil on the stove and they throw the dal into it and cook it, or you can heat the oil and just throw over the mixture and you mix it up. This is the process that I'm going to do now. I am just going to heat the oil and add to the dal mixture, so it come like you're frying the dal a bit. Okay, so this is the point in where we're gonna season your dal. So you don't want a bland dal, right? Grind dal. See how fine it grind in the food processor. It's fine. Okay, so the shad benny, pepper and garlic that I grind, we're gonna add it. So the oil is finished and we're gonna add it to our dal. So we're just gonna, here it's frying, and you're gonna mix it up, incorporate it properly so you get all the peas. Now when you do this, it kind of enhances the flavor of your dal, to me. Now everybody have a different way of doing things. I'm just showing you my way of doing it. You can try it if you like, but I'm gonna tell you, guarantee you, this is so tasty. Okay, so we have it here. So we are ready now to fill our loya with our peas mixed. So our loya have been resting. This is what we're going to do. Right? So you need your dust enough flour close by. We have our loya here. So we're going to dust, press, and we're going to open out the edges of it. Okay? You're going to make like a cup in your hands, in the palm of your hands, where you're going to rest the dough. So it's going to have a sink in the center. Okay? Now you can take a spoon. That's 1 spoon, 2 spoons, and you press in a bit. Okay, now you can press down with your hands to make sure it's in the center and it stays there. It's compact, right? And you're gonna pull one edge to meet another edge. It's like if you're sewing, you go zigzag to pull all to the center. Then you twist a bit, and there we have it. Put it in some flour. I'm gonna do another one for you. So you press out, you open edges a bit with your finger, twisting and stretching. Sink in the center. You're gonna place 1, 2, and a little more. Make sure it's compact in the center, and you pull from side to side while pressing with the other thumb to make sure all peas are inside your dough. Okay. So if you're not sure, I'm gonna do another one. So you press, press, press. Make sure it's in the center of the cup in your hand to assist you in getting the peas in place. Okay, so you press down with your hand a bit to make sure it's secure there. And you like if you're sewing, stitching all edges to come center. Twist a bit, put in your flour so it won't stick. Okay, so we're gonna start to roll out our dough, filled dough, which we call our loya now, in order our platen or tower is heating up. So we have our rolling pin and we have our full dough. Yeah? We have our container with dust enough flour, right? So we're gonna dust our surface. We're gonna start opening out our dough. Now, at first, if you're doing it, you may not get a perfect circle, but that's quite alright. Now you're trying for it not to stick to your surface, so you have to dust a bit to make sure we don't have any sticking on our surface. Okay? And we're gonna roll as thin as possible, especially edges. Alright, so we have one roll. I'm setting that aside. So in the meantime, what I do, roll another one. So make sure you have a generous amount of dusting on your flour, because you don't want it sticking to your surface, because then you're going to boost up your roti. Rolling as thin as possible. We have Diwali coming up. You can try it for Diwali, or if you don't want to wait till Diwali, you can try it even before, maybe a weekend, and have your family enjoy it as well, right? So here we're gonna move to across to the tower now in order to cook our dhalpuri, because the tower is heated up. So what I did is grease the tower. So normally, how I usually, you might be intimidated by how to pick up your dhalpuri. So sometimes what I do is take the rolling pin and I roll it back up. Make sure it's dusted off, the excess is dusted off. Put onto the top. Okay? Okay. So we're gonna grease our roti. You have the enamel cup you could use, or once you have the silicone brush, you could use that as well to brush your oil onto your roti. Yeah. So we have both. On the other side, make sure. Make sure and press down your edges a bit. That's it there. So we're going to do another one. Cook it on one side. I'm going to time it and 15 minutes. Once the bubbles start to pop up on one side, you can turn. And we're not on very high heat, it's on a medium heat here, medium fire. We have our roti on the towel again. Seeing the bubbles starting to take place on the roti. So you're going to turn it. You don't want it too brown unless you like it brown and crisp. This one swirl a little bit again. So this is the end of our roti making session. Look at the roti. Nice and soft, thin. Peas right through. See? That's falling out. Oh, it's hotter. Okay? So you can now do it on your own. Dhalpuri. Your very own Dhalpuri. Okay? I'd like to thank you all for hanging in there with me, doing all Dhalpuri today. And I hope I'll be able to share more videos with you all. Okay, so tune in for very soon. I should have more videos to share with you all. Okay, once you enjoy it, Please leave your comment and also share it. Thank you for viewing.